This is video number 71 for all of the instruments, violin, viola, cello, and bass. And in this video, we're going to be learning about ties and slurs. I need you to open up to page number 29 in your Essential Elements, Book 1, and just look up at the top. There are two shaded boxes. They're showing you the difference, how ties and slurs are the same and how they're different. Now, you can read the definition, but I'm going to tell you right now the difference between ties and slurs. First of all, let's talk about how they're similar. A tie and a slur have a curved line connecting it. Now the curved line can go like this, or if the notes are down below, the curved line can go up like this, okay? But it just means they both have a curved line. Now what that curved line connecting two or more notes, it can be more than one note, it just means you don't change bow direction, okay? The curved line means your bow doesn't change. You keep going down bow, or you keep going up bow for both of those notes. Now, what's the difference between a tie and a slur? In a tie, the curved line connects two notes that are the same, okay? These are on the same space. So for violins, that's going to be two C sharps. For violas, that's two open Ds. For cello and bass, those are two E's, okay? So notes that are the same. A slur connects notes that are different. That's the difference between a tie and a slur. So when you see a tie, all you have to do is add the counts up. So this note right here, this gets one count, this gets one count. You're just going to play it like a half note. So look at number 108 in your book. Do you see how it has a D half note and then an E, two quarter notes tied together? It's going to sound just like a half note. So just follow along. Don't shadow bow. Just follow along on number 108 in your book. And it is not a D major scale. People look at this and think it's the D major scale. Yes, it's in D major. We're in 4/4 time. It's in D major, but it's not the D major scale. Just follow along on number 108. Don't shadow bow. And 1, 2, 3, 4. D, E. Okay, now, did you notice there were two E's in measure 1, but I only played 1? That's because they are tied together. They're going to act and sound just like a half note. And you're probably thinking, well, why do we even have ties? What's the point? What's the point of having a tie? Can't we just write a half note? Well, this book right now doesn't really show you the reason for ties. It's just showing you what they are, okay? So, but let me show you the reason for a tie. Let's say a composer has written a song in 2/4 time. But that composer wants to have a dotted half note. What's a note that gets 3 counts? Well, you can't do that in 2/4 time, can you? Because after 2 beats, a measure is full. So we cannot do that. We cannot have a dotted half note in 2/4 time. What would the composer do? If they've chosen to write the song in 2/4 time, and there's one note that they wanted to get 3 counts, they are going to write a half note. That's the end of the measure, and then they're going to tie that half note to a quarter note in the next measure, okay? Now, do ties always happen between 2 measures? No, not always. They happen in different places. All you do with a tie is you add the beats. So this note here would get 3 beats. It would sound just like a dotted half note. I'm showing you this because when I first learned ties, I was like, what is the point? Why can't we just a half note? And yes, in the case of 108, that's what you would normally do if you were just writing the song. But the purpose of 108 is to teach you what to do when you see a tie. And what do you do when you see a tie? You just add the counts together, okay? So now I do want you to shadow bow 108. 108 really is going to be easy. It's actually easier than it looks. Shadow bow 108. Remember, it's not a scale, okay? 1, 2, shadow bow, and go. D, E, F sharp. Tied together. 1 tay, 2 tay, rest and lift. Now come down. higher than A. 1, 2, play 108, go. One, tay, two, tay, rest, lift. Rest, okay? So that one, pretty easy, pretty easy. Again, ties, all you're doing is adding the counts together. 2 quarter notes tied together is going to get 2 beats, just like a half note. A half note tied to a quarter note is going to get 3 beats, just like a dotted half note, okay? Now, let's talk about slurs. Now, remember what I told you, the difference between ties and slurs. Ties connect the slur, they both have a curved line. The curved line connects 2 notes that are the same, and all you do is add the counts. Now, a slur connects 2 notes that are different. And I say 2 notes because that's what we're starting with, but it can be 2 or more notes. So I'm going to do a D and an E slurred together. I'm going to do 1 down bow. So my bow is doing a half note. You see that? My bow has 2 counts on it. But my fingers are doing quarter notes. Slow bow. So see that? My bow goes in a half note. Now I'm going to slur. Okay? Now, can you slur more than 1 note? Absolutely. You can slur a bunch of notes. You can slur 3, 4, 5. That's 4. And we do 8. I'm going to do 15. Okay? So, we're starting off with just slurring 2 notes, and that's it. Okay? So here's what you need to do. I want you to just, don't look at your book just yet. I want you just to slur a D to an E. Now you've got to do a slow bow, and halfway through is when you put your E down. But you got to do it with the metronome. I'm actually going to take the 8th notes out of this for now, okay? Because it might confuse things. Okay? And I just want you to go down bow, D, E, and then stop. Just like this. Ready, and go. D, E. Now freeze. You should be at the tip of the bow. Okay? Now, here's a problem. A lot of people are like, okay, I'm going to slur. And they're like, wait, I'm going to slur, I'm going to slur, I'm going to slur. I swear, I just slurred, and then you didn't, okay? Here's what happens is because you're doing 2 different things with your hands now. So it's a coordination thing. It's kind of like tapping your head and rubbing your belly and then having to switch and then having to switch. It's a coordination thing, and it just takes some time. Some people will get it like that. Some people, it will take a while. So if it takes you a while, just I encourage you, stop and check yourself. Do 1, D to E, and freeze, and make sure you're at the tip. Here's another common problem with slurs is watch. See that? And that's because you see a quarter note and you think, oh, I'm going to use my whole bow for a quarter note, and then you run out of bow. Nope, your bow has to do a half note while your left hand is doing a quarter note, okay? So, slow bow. Try that with me now, and freeze, and with me, D to E. Ready, and go. D, E, freeze. You should be at the tip of the bow. Now go E to D. Start at the tip of the bow, E to D with me, and go. E, D. Stop, you should be at the frog. Now go down bow again, do D to E. And ready, and go. D, E. Freeze, you're at the tip of the bow. Then go E to D and go to the frog. And go E, D. Okay, now do D, E, E, D without stopping. Echo me, sorry. And go D, E. Now up O, D. Now you should be at the frog. Okay, now I want you to look at 109. Now we're going to shadow bow 109. Okay, 109 shadow bow, you're down here. All right, and notice it has D, E, and then rest, rest. Shadow bow 109, 1, 2, shadow bow, go down, bow, rest, rest, up bow, up, bow. Rest, you should be at the frog. Down, bow. Freeze, you're at the tip. Now up, bow. Now you're at the frog. Keep going. Down, up, down, up, down, up. One tay, two tay, off. Okay? Try that again. Try that again. Play it with me now. 109. Play it with me. And it's probably going to take you a little time to get this, and that's totally fine. 109. And 1, 2, play with me, and go. Down, bow. You should be at the tip now. Up, bow. You should be at the frog now. Down. You're at the tip. Now go up, bow. Up, down. Freeze. Now down, bow. Down, up, down, up, down, up. One tay, two tay, rest, rest. Okay? Now, before you try to do the next video, 108, you probably got it down. That's probably easy for you. You might just not understand, like, why do we have to do ties? You will when they actually show up in music and there's a purpose for them. 109, I would recommend that you video yourself to see if you're doing it right. Because a lot of people will do it wrong on their own, and they think they're doing it right the whole time. They think they're slurring. So video yourself doing 109 and make sure you're actually doing a down bow on 2 notes. And don't stop your bow. Like, your bow should be smooth. That's something later on that we'll learn called hook bows. We're not there yet, okay? Remember, the curved line means you don't change bow direction, okay? The difference between a tie and a slur, the curved line for a tie connects 2 notes that are the same. The curved line for a slur connects 2 notes that are different. Also, remember, the curve can go this way or this way, depending on where the notes are on the staff, all right? Get that stuff straight in your head. Get 109 really good before you try your next video.